Should you get into the short-term rental business in 2024? This is a topic. People have been asking all over if Airbnb and Vrbo are dead, and that's because we're seeing a flood of these properties that were once put on these platforms being sold on the market. Now, some people might say that's because the market is awesome. Today, what we're going to do is break down a little bit of what we see coming in 2024 and what you should consider. If you like content like this, please go ahead and subscribe below and give us a thumbs up and give us your feedback. Whether you agree with us or you disagree, we'd love to know what your personal experience with short-term rentals actually is. Welcome back. So should you get into the short-term rental game here in 2024? I have seen so many different videos, and I've even created one saying, is Airbnb dead? And we talked about, yeah, it kind of is for the certain type of host, but it's not for everybody. I got some comments going, is this clickbait? The reality is Airbnb is dead for the forgetful host, for the green host, for the person who just wants to buy a property, treat it like traditional real estate investment. You get it, you set it, you forget it. The Ronco of real estate. That ship has sailed, right? Because the market is saturated with units. The amount of inventory in the short-term rental game has grown exponentially. And as a result of that, what happens is when you have more choices, people have to elevate their game in order to even be considered. So what you're seeing is a parting of the Red Sea, so to speak. You're seeing the people who are delivering at a high level, a great customer experience, a guest experience when they come in from beginning to end, where they want to give you 5 stars. Those cabins, those properties, those beach homes, those houses or rooms get rented over and over and over again. Now, if you happen to be in a market where there just isn't a whole lot of competition, you might be able to do the Ronco version where you set it, you have some basic stuff in there, and you do great. But when competition shows up and they level up and they're charging the same or even less than what you are and delivering higher, people book that first. And that's what actually goes on. So when you get into 2024, my answer to should you get in the business is absolutely you should, but there's a few qualifiers. Let's talk about what some of those qualifiers are. Number 1, this is a hospitality business. If you have the skill and the availability to be a host and to service your guests in real time, ongoing, then this is something you should consider. If you don't, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be in the business. What it means there is you need to be talking to a property management company. You can also talk to co-hosts out there, which I do not recommend necessarily. I am a licensed broker in the state of Georgia, and I own a property management company that deals with short-term rentals. And so I think when you're dealing with the public, that needs to be done with somebody with a professional license. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people that disagree with me, and I know there's a lot of people that make money as co-hosting, and good for them, and that's awesome. As long as you're delivering an excellent experience and you're in compliance with whatever the laws of your state, local municipality are, then that's fantastic, but it's about the experience. So that's caveat number 1, is it is a hosting experience, a hosting business, a hospitality business, not just a real estate investment business. Number 2, do you have capital to be able to outfit the house with brand new good furniture so that you can actually charge top tier prices for this? If you don't, you may have used furniture in there, and I'm not saying everything has to be brand new out of the box, but if you use old worn out stuff, that does eventually come back, and it means you have more maintenance and labor to go into, which means you're putting more time in. The properties that we bought, where we fixed them up fully and put them up, we have way less maintenance issues with those properties than ones that we've actually bought that did have older stuff, and we kicked that can down the road until we reached a point where we're like, we're done, scrapped all that stuff and put fresh stuff in there. So that's going to be number 2, is having enough money to get the property ready. Number 3, Do you have reserves for the slow seasons? Meaning when you're making money in the property, I should say you're getting rents in, but you're actually losing money because it costs you more to have the cabin than what you're bringing in, so that you can survive to the months of the year where the money is 4 times what it takes for you to operate the cabin, and that's where you make your profit. Think of it like a department store. So the reserves are going to be number 3. Number 4, do you have money to acquire the property with a down payment? Interest rates are high. When we did our last video shoot at the end of 2023, let's say around October, around that time frame, the interest rates had hit 8% for owner-occupant properties. If we were talking about investment properties, we were seeing stuff in the 10s. Right now, I checked on stuff today and I've seen stuff for owner-occupied properties as low as 6.875%. So 6.875 is your traditional stuff. And I saw some unique stuff out there that was as low as 5.56 here in January of 2024. They were specialized loan products that are at a credit union, but nonetheless, we saw them. So rates will affect your debt servicing, which will affect the deal. Meaning a deal that was great at 4 and 5% interest at 7 and 8% interest just isn't a deal, because the amount of money it costs you to service the debt doesn't make any sense. So that's one thing you're going to want to make sure is, do the numbers actually work? The reality is this: the answer is always yes to getting into real estate and buying the right piece of real estate at the right time. I have never found a market, no matter how bad or abysmal the market is, where it's just a great idea to not buy real estate. It's always a great idea to buy the right piece of real estate in the right area at the right time. And that is what it boils down to. Getting into this business in 2024 is going to be more challenging, but will become easier as the rates start coming down. As of now, the Fed has not reduced the interest rate, but said at the end of 2023 that they would have 3 price reductions here in 2024. When that happens, I think that a lot of the people that have been waiting to get into the game will jump in. And from my perspective, it makes more sense to get in today if you can afford to, and then when the rates come down, refinance into a cheaper rate. But you have to be prepared to hold that other rate in the event that the Fed changes their mind. So just be prepared. What I don't think is a good idea is to over leverage yourself on something you can't afford to swing just for the hope of being in the business, but putting a plan together to be able to invest in short-term rentals is a long-term plan that pays out huge dividends and frankly should be your retirement plan. So that's it. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you're interested in getting in this business in 2024, reach out to me. My phone number is below, and we could talk about whether you want to get into short-term rentals and be a landlord, or whether you would like to do the long-term rental game, or if you're just interested in purchasing real estate. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.